welcome to the Osteon Physio YouTube channel. For this month's series, we are looking at enhancing well-being in the workplace. What are the top 3 reasons for days missed at work? Number 1, of course, mental health issues, that's 44%. Second to that, and very, very close, is the physical injury, which is 37%. And then the third part is minor injuries and illnesses, so coughs and colds at 19%. The reason why I'm telling you this, although they've been based into a hierarchy, the reality of it is there is a massive overlap between all elements. And so when addressing and enhancing well-being in the workplace, we need to look at mental health as well as physical health. So how does everything overlap? So the best way to show you how everything overlaps is to look at the general adaptation response. This is the body's response to stress, and this can be from a mental point of view or a physical point of view. If, for example, with the body, if we become injured and we don't resolve that issue, the body continues to respond to this, and this is a continuing stress and input. Same with the mindset. If we're stressed or we're anxious or we're depressed at work or we're exposed to situations that are particularly stressful, this again is a stress stimulus to the body and the mind. What happens initially is we have an alarm response. When we're exposed to a stress, the body gets ready, fight or flight. What happens is we increase your heart rate, we increase the blood pressure, and we release stress hormones and adrenaline. That's where we're exposed to a situation and we deal with it. The problem arises is if that continues. So like we said, if we continue to get injured, so we're not sitting properly, we get injuries at work, if we continue to get exposed to situations, the second phase is the body becomes resistant. So you can see it's kind of going up, the body adds that resistance. And so you have that exposure to stress and to injury, building up to a point where the body either has to reset and cope with it, which is the normal response, or it goes over that curve. And this is where we increase our risk of burnout and injury. Stage 3 is the exhaustion phase, and this is where the body has been exposed to stresses for the mind and the body, so injury, tightness, pain in the workplace, as well as stressful situation, anxiety and depression, and it can no longer deal with it. And so what happens with the exhaustion phase is stuff starts to shut down. And this is where people get stuff like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. You're exposed and you increase your risk of exposure to these conditions. What happens with the body is in that burnout stage is you're more likely to have severe injury. So for example, you might have a disc prolapse or a herniation. You might have other injuries that have been brewing for a while and then suddenly peak. And again, it's because your body is in a state where it's unable to deal with the stress stimulus and recover. So what does this mean for you? What can you do about it? And this is where we break it up. So first of all, if we take the body, we want to have a look at, well, what can you change in your environment to set yourself up for success? Can you address your workstation so you're sitting better? Can you make sure that you're moving every hour so you're reducing any tension from forming in the body? And when you do get injured, instead of taking painkillers, you go and get it assessed properly, get it treated, get it sorted, so that later on your body feels stronger and fitter. For your mental health, this is where we want to have a look at, well, what's going on day to day that might be causing me stress? Can I reduce that exposure? So if you know there's people at work that make you quite stressed or situations, can you take yourself out of that situation? Regular breaks every hour resets the mind and resets the body, takes you out of a situation so you can have a different perspective and look at it from a slightly different angle. And then finally, finding some you time. And this is so key. This might be listening to your favourite audiobook, it might be going for a walk, it might be spending time with friends. Whatever it is, you need to have that reboot time to reset your mind so that dealing with situations you're a lot more efficient, you're a lot more productive, and you're less likely to cause problems.